Again, to another edition of the Hot Seat Interviews. I am your host, film critic for AMovieGuy.com, Leo Brady. I am here today with somebody who is kind of a big star. He has been in so many cool movies before. He got his start on Magic Mike. He has been in a whole bunch of movies ever since that. Elvis Nixon and tons of other stuff. The Butler. We're here today to talk about his film, 5 Pounds of Pressure. This is actor Alex Pettyfer. Alex, thanks for being with me.
Thank you very much, my friend.
So we start off this interview series by asking a question that really, I think, gets everything going. What's a movie or a cinematic moment for you that made you say, I want to be an actor?
Oh, wow. You know, I used to go over to my friend's house when I was about 14 years old. Um, I mean, I kind of was in love with film before that. We used to have this, or we still do have this channel called Channel 4 or
Yeah.
Film 4.
Yeah.
And before it was it had the gravitas that it does now with making great films like Shame and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like Steve McQueen's Shame with Fassbender. But they used to play these movies at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I always was a terrible sleeper. And I would always turn the TV on as a little boy. And Once Upon a Time in America, or like Goodfellas, Deer Hunter, they would all play at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And so my Americana film portfolio, shall we say, over the years of being awake at that time grew and grew and grew and grew. And I had a friend as a young man, a best friend, who I would go over, and we never played games, or we never went to the ice rink. We would go to his room, and he was an amazing jazz pianist, and he would play themes from films. He could listen to the title tracks of the films and play them blind. So he would play, but his cinephile catalog was beyond. So I then got into Japanese anime and French cinema like La Passine. And so I can't tell you that I had this one film that changed the experience for me, where I was like, I need to be an actor. I want to be a part of film. I actually never dreamed of being an actor. I kind of was, the stars aligned, and I was a very lucky man to be given opportunities in film. Yeah. But I truly was a cinephile. I loved film, and as a young boy, having my eyes open to films maybe I might not necessarily should have watched, but I did. I fell in love with film and how it can make you feel. And
yeah, well, and it's interesting too, because your career is a bit more involved in the filmmaking process now. You've been a director, you've been a writer, you've produced some stuff, and obviously you're an actor. But what has sort of the process been for you, sort of proving to others that you're, more than just the actor that you are? Like, you kind of have to prove to other people, like, I love film and I can do things just as much in front of the camera as behind it, right?
See, I had written an original song, I'm Just an Actor.
Yeah.
And Mark Ronson changed the wording to I'm Just Ken.
Yeah.
And he stole it from me.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Darn.
Then they made $1 billion.
Right.
I'm teasing. My English humor is stupid.
No, I love it. I love it.
No, I mean, I'm not here to prove anything. I think we are so fortunate to be able to make film, and to be given an opportunity to make any film is a privilege. And I am not a director or a writer or a producer. I am just someone who loves to immerse himself and collaborate with great people. And great people have given me, an opportunity to be a part of different processes of filmmaking, and I've taken the opportunities immediately. So it's not something that I proactively have gone out and tried to say I am a director, or I am a writer, or I am a filmmaker. I just want to make films, you know, and that doesn't, as you can see from the small catalog that I've done, I've made a variety of different. I don't have. I'm not a serious actor. I'm not a funny actor. I'm just like trying everything, and at the end of the day, the experience of what I have when I'm on a set is all that I care about. I obviously want, in the business sense, films to succeed, but
Yeah.
my experience is what I endure, and that's all that's important to me, you know.
Yeah.
um
Yeah, well, and it's interesting too because you at the beginning of your career, it kind of seemed like you were getting funneled into this sort of like heartthrob or like a romantic lead in a lot of ways. But like you recently with like Echo Boomers and Sunrise this year, and now with 5 Pounds of Pressure, it feels like you're playing characters with a lot with either darker sides or a little bit more complexity to them. It is Are those the type of roles that you want more of, or is it just like the character that's on the page, I'm gonna dive into it full go?
I think it's just because there's younger, better looking people, and I just don't get those opportunities.
Right. Yes, maybe that. I don't think so.
I'm an old man.
Yeah, right, right.
I mean, no, I don't know. I think when you're young, you don't. I think people have this misconception that you can choose what you want to do. Like,
Right.
there is no choosing what you get to do as a young man. The privilege of being or having longevity in your career, which is very hard,
Yeah.
is that over a period of time you have more. And I don't say you have a lot, but you have more choice or more freedom. You know, it comes slowly. I'm
Yeah.
still not there yet. You know, I'm still not in a place where I'm able to be like, I want to do this or I want to do that. Like,
Right.
you know, I'm still at the beginning of my career.
Yeah.
So, um, do I gravitate towards more darker material? Not necessarily. I just like stories, and as I've got older, I care about um, the narratives of stories. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and it's interesting too because you've worked with at this point, excuse me, in your young career with like a solid list of directors, Soderbergh, Lee
Yeah.
Daniels, and Andrew Niccol, and now Guy Ritchie. You've got like you've got a big 2024 that's sort of happening in front of you right now. Uh, would you say you sort of uh picked up a lot of their passions along the way working with them? Is it sort of again, you talked about like the storytelling process, right? Telling these stories, being a part of movies. Is it just like a feather in the cap when you're able to work with guys like that because they just make the experience 10 times better?
I'm just a fly on the wall. I
Yeah.
mean, I actually like to Soderbergh was like was kind of the first time I um was with an auteur. Like, he
Yeah.
really was an auteur. Like, you
Yeah.
know, I say that because the films that he makes, he takes huge risks, and he really is the captain of all the ship, you know, from distribution, finance, everything.
Yeah.
And he obviously has made some movies that are cult classics and classics, American classics, Aaron
Yeah.
Brockovich, Traffic, you know,
Yeah.
the Oceans films.
Right.
So, but what you realize is that is when you're working with these people, they just love film, you know,
Yeah.
and they love collaboration, and there is no ego, and it's a collaborative set, and it's when you work with people that don't feel like they have um, the ability to hear others' opinions, that you feel like you're on a closed set where it's very hard. And
Yeah.
so these directors that I've had the privilege to work with have really given a great insight in what the key of filmmaking is we're not painters. We don't sit in a room on our own. We're not Picasso or Matisse. We are on a set where there's 300 other people, and they are all passionate about the individual jobs that they do. And a great director or a great filmmaker is navigating everyone's ideas into the pot and mixing it all together to make a great film, you know, collaboratively.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, I watched like a plenty of your interviews like prior to talking with you today. I mean, like you seem to learn a lot like with Magic Mike. It seemed like you're very humble about like how that process was hard and you had to sort of learn a lot about like who you were? You said how like you were young when you were sort of starting that movie. I mean, is that something that like that for you, it's like you've been able to grow as an actor, just like with every movie you make, right? It sort of changes. Each one's a learning experience that allows you to be, you know, a better person or something like
Yeah,
that.
of course.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're not learning your craft and not evolving
yeah,
um, as a human being,
right.
you know, through your craft. I mean, at the end of the day, why do we do our job? Our job is one, hopefully, that we have some form of passion towards,
Yeah,
um, and um, Rick Rubin came out with something and said the ultimate win is to do something that we love that we get paid for. But this misconception that we must be doing what we love to get paid is a wrongful thought. And doing something we're passionate about and having a 9 to 5 job, it can coexist. And I'm one of the very lucky people on this planet that I have been able to do the thing that I love the most
yeah,
and make a living from it. And the experiences that I've been given, as in traveling, interacting with people that inspire me, not only in film but in life, because people like Soderbergh and Guy Ritchie, their views on the world are really interesting and they expand your perception. So yeah, of course, have evolved and grown as a man because I've had great collaborators, male and female. Um, Shauna Festi, she directed Endless
yeah,
Love, one
yeah.
of the great writers and directors that I work with. She was a saint, for me, and directed that movie at 8 months pregnant. Was so inspiring.
Yeah.
So I've been very lucky, very
Yeah.
very lucky.
All right. Well, the my last question for you, the movie that we're talking about today, 5 Pounds of Pressure, you get to play a very sort of like ruthless guy by the name of Lef. I mean, he is sort of fierce, and you've also got these great scenes with Rory Culkin. Can you talk about sort of being this character and, working with Rory? You have to get a little bit sort of, in each other's faces, and I love that. What was your experience like?
Well, Rory's a great scene partner
Yeah.
and also like an absolute angel of a human being. But yeah, I mean, I think when you are diving into a character that is very complex and you're just trying to find the relatability, and I think this film is about is like a pseudo redemption story and also a story about acceptance. And I think that the acceptance that we seek from others starts with ourselves,
Yeah.
and Lef, even though the actions that he does in his day-to-day life are maybe not necessarily ones that I would agree upon, you
Yeah.
have to you have to put yourself in this position of, you know, where they are, where they have been brought up, and the circumstances they're in, and the decisions that they're making are, for what they think the better of their life would be.
Yeah. All right. Well, Alex Pettyfer, congratulations. Fantastic performance in this film. 5 Pounds of Pressure is going to be in theaters, on digital and on demand this weekend, Friday, March 8th. Alex Pettyfer, congratulations and thank you again.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.